Welcome back to Sumtotal. Today I'm going to show you how to create a report. We have a lot of ground to cover since I'll be showing you how to create a report, how to include expenses, including your hotel expenses, how to include your attachments, and how to end up submitting your report. Um, I'm going to leave the link for you to access Sumtotal in the description box of this video, and you should have your credentials in order to access Sumtotal available with you. You have to make sure you're using Explorer, as I mentioned in previous reports and also in previous videos. And you have to make sure that also you have configured and cleaned the cache in order to make it work. Otherwise, you're going to face a lot of errors. If you want to try using Chrome, you're more than welcome to do so, but most likely you will have errors now or in the future. So it's just better just to get it right from the beginning. Let's get to it because we have a lot of ground to cover, and this might be a long video, but I'll try to go easy and slow, but the good thing about these videos is that you can always replay it, or you can always email us at expense2@usa.com. So you can email us your questions and we're more than happy to help you with. So let's get to it. You're gonna enter your credentials. You're gonna select the login. I'm going to I want to pick, in my case, you don't have to do this step because I'm logging in as an administrator. But once you enter your credentials, you should see a screen very similar to this with your name on the top. You're gonna click on create an expense report. Give your report a name that makes sense. For example, Las Vegas Convention 2019. Let's say that we were there from, let's say August, from the 1st to August, I don't know, let's say the 10th. Make sure that the dates that you use include the dates of all your expenses. If you have expenses later on in the report that are from August the 11th or the 15th or prior to this date, you will not be able to include them. So from the beginning, just make sure you include the whole range of days that you're going to be using. You're going to click on continue. That's going to bring you to the add expense tab. By default, there are several expense tabs here, but we'll visit them later on the video. Let's start with something easy. As you can see, the red exclamation marks, those are required fields. Those are a must. If you try to add an expense without it, you're gonna get this error. So just select, let's say, a business meal. I went to Shell gas station. Let's say I was in Los Angeles. So that means it's United States. In the area, in my example I'm using, I say Los Angeles, but it's not available here. So you are more than welcome to use all other cities. Let's say I spend $19 on coffee and donuts on my way to LAX. So I spent $19. You're gonna click add expense. I'm missing one field. This expense type, when you use business meals, supposedly you had a partner or you are meeting with a client, but since it was me, I need to correct my expense type, so it's a meal travel. And now I should be able to add it. And it's gonna give me the following warning that I have $41 remaining for the day out of the 60 that I am on my allowance. So all you need to do is press OK, and that should bring my expense to the lower section of the screen. As you can see, it's down here, and you can always make changes on your expenses, but I'll show you that in a minute, how to do that later. So for now, I'm just gonna press cancel, and I'm gonna add another expense. Since I went to the airport, now let's say I had to buy supplies at Staples prior to leaving. Since I know that Los Angeles is not there, let's say I spent $5 in pen and calculator. Doesn't matter what it is. Again, this is just an example. I spend it on the 1st. I spend on pen and a calculator at Staples. You just add your expense. Let's say that I had to drive my car from my home to LAX on the same day that I'm traveling from the airport. We already know that LA is not listed. We know it's in the United States. Let's say I have to drive from Orange County, which is around, if I remember, it's about 42 or 43 miles. Um, Drove personal vehicle to LAX from home. As you can see, the rate is built in Sumtotal already. It does the calculation for you. All you have to do is enter the number of miles um, that you drove from your home to the airport in this example, and it gives me $24. All I have to do next is just click on add expense, and it will also show here in the bottom. Now let's pretend, oh, oops, I made a mistake. It's not 43 miles. Let's say it's 49 miles. uh, Automatically updates over here, but you still have to save the changes and then you add the expense. It says that I'm missing a field. Oh, I'm sorry. It already made the changes down here, and you can see we changed it to 49. So we're just gonna click save again to allow us to the next screen for us to enter um, a new expense type. So now let's see. Let me get back to here. So I was mentioning to you that there's different tabs that you can use. Before I move into adding a one more expense, let me show it to you. If you click on report header, it will allow you to change the dates. If you click on include transactions, this is the screen that is going to allow you to bring all your credit card expenses onto your report. Thank God Adam had his credit card in the system, and you can see that there's a bunch of expenses that he has that needs to include. They're actually from December since 2017, but just for the sake of this example, I'm just gonna add this one. We're gonna select the transaction. You can do multiples if you want, but in this case, I'm just gonna add one. So I just click on include. There's a red exclamation mark. Um, this is a great example because if you click on it and then you click on policy info, it's gonna tell me that the expense that I'm trying to include, the item that I'm trying to include, is out of the range. Remember at the beginning of the video I was telling you that make sure that the dates are included. So let's try to see if I can change the date so we can bring this item into the report. So I need to change, so we can click on back home, click on the report. We're gonna change the header. I can close that for right now. Report header, and he is from, what was the year? I don't know. I'm just gonna make it very wide. I don't remember the date of the item. I'm sorry about it, but I made it to for 2014. That should be safe enough. Save changes. Let's see if that allows me to save the dates. View summary. That will allow me to see this. And let's see what the issue is. Expense type mandatory. Region is mandatory. So it's a late payment. Expense type. We're gonna use miscellaneous. We're gonna select United States, and just to make it easy because we know it's a late fee. Business purpose, we see that the red exclamation mark is in the business purpose box, so we're gonna say late fee, forgot to pay. We're gonna copy that in the description. So, and in this screen, if some of your credit card expenses are personal, if you click this box, you are cleaning up your credit card transactions, but you will not get reimbursed. But if you click on it, if you do not click on it, you will get reimbursed, but it will also clean up your transactions, meaning it's gonna get removed from the list of the credit card activity. But in this case, let's say it's personal, so it's in the report, but it will not count towards the amount that I'm getting reimbursed. So I'm gonna save the changes, And you can see here um, in this summary that there's $18 that are personal, 52 is the total of the report that I'm going to get reimbursed, and this is the total amount of the report, including the personal. So 52 plus 18 gives you 71. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But it's very simple. It's just a very easy calculation. You can see it right here again. 52 plus 18, 71, or 71, you get in 52 because 18 is personal and you flag it as non-reimbursable. The opposite or the reverse of that would be unflagged out of personal. You save the changes. It's asking me to redo it again. We said it was miscellaneous. Region, we know it's in the United States. Business purpose, I believe I have it on the memory. They pay. But this time we're not gonna flag it personal, so you can see the difference. And what's the error now? I see the exclamation mark. Policy info. Cost center is mandatory. When that happens, you can come here to allocation. You're gonna select a cost center. You shouldn't be going through this. It's just because I'm using the admin credentials to create a report. But if you enter your cost center, you search for it, it should show up here. However, we configure Sumtotal to automatically reflect your cost center, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, just click on allocation and select yours. So now that we selected our cost center, let's see if that clears out the error. And now we're back to the summary, and you can see now that the total of the report equals the same amount I'm going to get reimbursed, because this item that we enter is actually not personal. It is actually a legit business transaction. So, but we still have, you can see now here buttons on the right hand side that allows you to upload the receipts, print your report, or submit it, or you can just close it. But we haven't finished. Let me show you how to enter your hotel expenses. So we go back to the add expense tab. Because we went so far back, Sumtotal is picking up the earliest date, but I'm just gonna go back to August. Let's say I was on the 2nd, I arrived to my hotel, we select lodging. I'm gonna show you how to enter your expenses when there's even nightly rate amounts, and after that I'll show you how to enter uneven nightly rate amounts. That happens for places like when you travel like New York or Las Vegas. The nightly rate per room may change depending on the season, but for this example, I'm gonna show you the same rate across many nights. So this is the easy, and then we'll do the hard one. So after you select your expense type, you have to make sure also you have your hotel folio handy with you, so you can mimic those expenses, the breakdown onto Sumtotal. So we say we're in the United States. Of course, this applies the same if you were in another country. We were supposedly going to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is not listed here, but you can use all other cities. Um, we're gonna enter business purpose, Las Vegas convention. Disregard my typo. I'm trying to go fast just for you. On this box, you're gonna enter the total amount of your folio. Let's say it was 450, the total amount with taxes and everything included. And then you can see now that one of the red exclamation marks are inside this button, so you have to go to itemize. That'll bring up the what we call the wizard, the itemize wizard. And like we're gonna enter our nightly date. We start in August the 2nd, and let's say we stay 3 nights, which is totally fine. Now on the wizard, you can see that once you enter your dates, it will calculate the number of nights, and it will also show you what's the remaining balance of your hotel folio that we previously entered over here. Let me bring that up. So now we're just going to enter the nightly rate for just one night. We already know that it's even across all nights. So let's say the nightly rate was 125. We're going to add it just once. And then let's say the rate, I'm sorry, the tax, the room tax was, on the tax you can always sum all the fees and the county fees, lodging fees, hotel fees, all those fees that they like to charge you extra on the hotels, you can add them up, make a lump sum and add them on the tax. So let's say the tax was $25. And if you click on add, you see that the remaining balance went down to 0. But I'm gonna show something different. We want to delete that, and let's say that the tax was actually, let's say $5, just for the sake of this example, so I can add more items. You can see that we still have $60 to go. Let's say the parking was $10 per night. You add, now you see I have 30. Let's see that I have press the suit, which usually happens. Let's say it was $10 per night, so that will bring me down to 0. You click on done once that balances, and then you're gonna click on return, and you're gonna click on add expense, and that's gonna bring down my hotel expense. And if you click on this plus sign box thingy, you can see that the wizard automatically enter all my expenses that were even across my hotel folio through the different dates that I stay in the hotel. You can click on save report, so you can go back to the add expense tab, in which you can add now new expenses if you have any. Let me go back into login, and now we're gonna enter uneven rates. So let's say from the 6th I spent another, let's say 500. So we already know that it's in Las Vegas. Let's say Las Vegas convention had to switch hotels. I don't know, I'm just making a stuff on the fly, but you get my feeling. You're gonna click on itemize again. We're gonna enter, that's gonna bring us to the wizard, but this time we have to close the wizard because the wizard doesn't allow us to spend different rates across different nights. So we're gonna have to manually enter every single night, every single expense, tax and everything that we have in the folio. So we say that the first day was the 6th. So let's start with the room rate for the 6th. You're gonna enter the number of nights at that rate. Don't play with it, just go one by one because it can get very confusing. So I'd rather enter, let's say that 2 nights actually were the same rate, and only one was uneven. I will still enter just one night because you are only using for one day. Don't ask me why these boxes are not aligned. I did not design Sumtotal. I just work with it. Just make sure, because it's very easy to enter here, let's say the $500, and Sumtotal is going to understand that you stay 500 nights rather than spending $500. So just make sure you enter only one. You don't really need to enter a description. You even have the chance to enter this as a personal. Let's say you travel with your family, your wife, whoever, you can enter there because that happens sometimes. So all what we have left is just add this item for the 6th, and it's showing down here. We're getting a yellow exclamation mark telling us that we spent $500 in one night. That's completely out of policy. I made that by mistake. So it wasn't 500. It was actually, let's say, $89 for the first night. You save it. Now it changes just back, and now we can see that our remaining amount is 411 that we still have to allocate. So for that night, for the 6th, let's say the taxes were $50. I'm sorry, $25. Uh, and I was telling you to be careful. You can see that I made a mistake myself uh, of just entering always one night and $25. You add the item. Now it's going down to 386. So now let's do the night of the 7th. Uh, we're just gonna repeat this as many times as needed. Remember to enter one. Let's say this night was 175. We keep adding. It's gonna subtract it. Now it's down to 211. But for the 6, no, for the 7, now we need to select the date again. We need to enter the room tax. Again, it's just one night. This time it was $49. Um, we keep adding. We have 162. Let's say you have a meal in the room. You have a club sandwich and a nice Coke with a large fries. You can enter. It was $35. Club sandwich, large fries, and a Coke. You keep adding. Now we have the warning that is going to tell us that we have $25 left out of the 60 for the day. And we just keep going. Let's say the parking for the 7, it was $12. We added. And let's say finally our last night on the 8th, whatever, it was 100. I'm sorry. You see, I'm telling you, this is really easy to make a mistake here. So just pay attention. Add item, and we have $15 left. Let's pretend that's the tax. Again, one night, $15. Add item, and now our remaining balance is 0. I get a lot of emails telling me I cannot add the item, I cannot press return, I'm having problems with my report. I always come here and I always see that there's a remaining balance. Make sure you get 0, otherwise you won't be able to submit your report. Once your balance is 0, you can click on return as I just did, and you will still have to do the add expense. So that brings it down to all the expense listed here below. It's just gonna tell me some warnings that I'm out of policy. Don't worry about it, ignore for now. Your manager ultimately is the one who decides if you are with, if he or she allows you to spend over the policy. Again, it's just a warning. The issue will be that you have to solve if it was a red exclamation mark like we did on the miss and the miscellaneous expense for the late payment charge that Adam had in his credit card, but you saw me solving it. But for the yellow, you don't have to worry. If you click again on the Dropbox, let me show that again. On this plus sign, it gives you all your expenses per day with different night rates and different rates on everything. So you wouldn't have been able to do this using the wizard. So just to summarize, remember, when you have even nights, use the wizard. When you have uneven nights, you have to enter manually as I just showed you. So we're gonna press on complete report. Now I'm gonna show you how to upload your receipts. All you have to do is click on upload receipts. You're gonna look for your PDF file. Well, before I get there, all these are the formats that are allowed. You can actually fax your expenses. I strongly recommend you not to do it because the fax always triggers issues or might delay your report because they get stuck. So it's better for you just to attach them in your computer. And by the way, you can attach your receipts using your cell phone if you are creating the report using your mobile device. You can take pictures of multiple reports in multiple receipts in one picture, and you can upload them as just one picture. But whatever works for you, it works for us as long as you're attaching the receipt as a PDF. So let me see if I can find Since I'm using my personal computer, let me see if I have a PDF somewhere. Um, I think that's a PDF open. And you have to make sure that the PDF is smaller than 2 megabytes, otherwise you will get an error message. Um, but in this case, since I know that it's not a PDF, it's telling me this error that the file is not on the right format, as you can see there. So now I need to find a PDF. Just give me a second. I have my taxes, whatever. Now it's a PDF. You can see it there. Um, it's ready to be uploaded. I uploaded it, and I should get a message here telling me that it failed or that it passed, depending on the size of the file. Just give it a second. It refreshed, and now it's telling me that it was successfully. If you get a successful message, just click on return, and now you're ready to submit your report. In this case, I am not going to submit it because I am creating a report on behalf of somebody else. But once you press the submit, you will get a flash screen that will refresh, and it will tell you that your report was successfully submitted. Once you get that message, keep an eye on the status of the report. There's a video on this playlist that shows you how to look at the status of your report. So keep watching the videos, learn how to watch the status of your report, because after Sumtotal takes about 2 to 3 hours to update the status from acknowledged to submitted to MA. MA stands for submitted to manager. Uh, and that way you know that your report is with your manager. And in that video, I also show you how to see if you have the right manager. Because sometimes Sumtotal doesn't forward your report to the right person. So I really invite you to keep watching this video series and learn how to, now that you create a report, how to monitor the status of your report to make sure that it's moving along the approval flow and that it's going to the right manager. Well, with this, I conclude the video presentation. Thank you very much for your time and your patience. Don't forget to submit your report, look at the status of your report, and thank you for your time. See you soon. See you in the next video.